maybe we could just talk about that for a second. Talk a little bit about wisdom.
Wisdom. Well, wisdom comes from God. That's where it starts. And it's not something you can go to Harvard or Yale or anywhere else and get. You can get a lot of knowledge, and we're supposed to get knowledge. But wisdom comes from God. And uh, and that's not just applied knowledge. The world has a lot of different ways to talk about wisdom, but God clearly says in James that it comes from Him. And Proverbs says that wisdom is to be more desired than rubies, gold, silver, than absolutely anything you could ever desire. Wisdom is infinitely more valuable. Uh, I believe it's been a long time since America has had a leader that is guided by wisdom, which includes so many aspects and facets. Part of it is deep discernment of
Yeah.
the times. God gave the men of Issachar a greater understanding of their times. God gave them a greater understanding. It is possible with the wisdom of God to have a greater understanding of this time in human history and how to navigate it. Not because we've already been given the roadmap, not because He sent me the cliff notes of what to come. I don't know what's going to come, but I know who holds the future. And He's given
Yes.
us a map on how to be today, how to govern today. What are the responsibilities of kings and presidents today, and what the responsibilities of judges are today? I mean, the scripture is so filled with very practical application for how to lead a nation. And so I believe that wisdom is what is lacking. I think it's lacking in companies, even as CEOs. A lot of them, we are data driven, which we need to be data driven. We need to be looking at these things, but more than any of those, we need to be spirit led.
Right.
And that is the missing piece. Everyone else is going by the same information. It's one of the reasons why people were so misled during COVID, and then people get mad when they feel like they've been deceived. But it is because there were so many quote leaders that were not spirit led. They were walking by sight, not by faith. And if we
Or
want to
by
be,
fear. Yeah.
or exactly.
Yeah.
And by the way, we know the spirit of fear is demonic.
Right.
God is not the author of confusion. He said He hasn't given the spirit of fear, but of
Right.
love, power, and sound mind. So it is
Right.
not from Him. That's also why I'm not running a fear-based campaign. It's a
Right.
lot easier to win a primary if you run a fear-based campaign, but it's hard to run on unify the nation but hate your next door neighbor. You know,
Right. Right.
I can't reconcile that in my mind.